again, and I had a cool idea, and my friend suggested I do a cockatrice and a harpy for it. And the whole thing is basically I'm gonna look at them and figure out like, oh, what do people expect from them, and then I'm going and figuring out a creature that looks like them, and it gives you the vibes of them, but it's not quite correct. Cockatrice is far more common for some reason for people to fuse like that. Well, I guess because a harpy it's got a people face and that's part of its coolness. But some people don't like to draw people faces much. So you'll see that what happens to that later. With the cockatrice, originally I was like, maybe it's a weird chicken. And then I went, heck this, it's a raptor. Because there's bird raptors. And those are cool as heck. And then it didn't work to have it didn't work to have webbed wings quite because they just looked weird for some reason. I might have made it'll make it work, but it's fine. The feathered wings turned out really cool. And you can see, and the whole idea behind it was it had like fangs with paralyzing venom, and that's what its killing gaze or stone gaze, whatever. People kind of shift it between cockatrices and basilisk, and I don't really care enough to remember at this point. I made these at like midnight, and my brain is dead from coding. You can see we're getting into the sketch, and it has these. Did I tell you about them already? Oh well, you can hear about them again. It's got these tail fins for steering on its tail that are kind of like the same stuff as its crest, which is like a fleshy thing. I think on a chicken it's called a comb. With these, it'd probably be some kind of like all male asexually reproducing species or something. Because all cockatrices are male, or at least they come from a cock's egg. I don't know if they have to have a cock's head. They're always drawn with a cock's head. A cock is a male chicken, for those who are uneducated. Or just idiots. But yeah, you can see this creature, which I'm not the happiest with it. I might redo it someday. But it's cool. And it looks like incredibly disgruntled. You can see me going into coloring now. And you can see I immediately went to chicken colors, despite it being, you know, not quite a chicken. But it's fine. It's fine. It just looks cool anyway. And you can see I gave it red wing tips because the wings didn't stand out enough. Here's a hot tip with your gradients. You can absolutely add a sort of in-between color underneath, and then it looks more like a colorful gradient. Like it forces the colors to be nicer or something. You can see I'm going into highlights, and then later I go into shading because the highlights didn't make it shaded enough. You can see the textured brush makes them a little funny, and then I blur them. But the fun part is you can add texture even if it's blurred. And you can also change up the color, so you can see it went really magenta in the shading for a second there. That magenta in the shading makes it more bright, but then I made it more red-brown because I wanted it to be more natural. You can see it up now. And then we're into harpies. And harpies, the traditional ones, don't have arms, but the ones people tend to draw do. Though they do tend to give them like bird hands or whatever. By the way, all these images are sourced from Google Images or Wikipedia. The more traditional ones are Wikipedia, because Google Images is full of fan art. If I used your image without knowing it's yours, you did a cool image. Be happy with it. You, with harpies, they're a kind of vulture, but with a human face to my knowledge. I gotta look up harpies again. You can see I did a little bit of bone structure and how that would work. That's based off of bat anatomy for some reason. Like, it's a weird hybrid between bird and bat and human arm. So it's like, so their wings probably aren't as sturdy as human, or not human, as bird wings, because they didn't have their bones fused together into just one big bone. Instead, they've got the equivalent of one finger's worth of bones that are holding that wing together. Yeah, they probably break things a lot. I've decided for some reason that they're nighttime creatures and therefore have a nictitating membrane. I don't care if they're birds, I'm giving them the cool glowy eyes. And you can see they're very feathery, with like some skin on their face, like you know how vultures, how they've got the skin on their face and feet so that they don't get infectious diseases or it washes off easier or whatever. That's basically why they got skin on their face. And I gave them fangs because fangs are cool. And they have feathery eyebrows. Mostly because it was looking a little plain up there. And you can see him getting into the weird hands and the wings. The whole idea is that that's supposed to kinda freak you out a little. Be like, what the fuck is that? I'm not good at scary things. However, it does get a little more scary in the shading. Well, it's scary if you see it in that night. Imagine some fucked up bird thing. Just being like, hi. And then you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Oh. And then you can see the wings in front of the leg. I was really not sure where to put that wing. It's fine. It's not like this is supposed to be a masterpiece. You can see I did the huge eyes way before, you know, coloring. Yeah, I'm coloring now. And there's different color distinctions. I used colored line art, so I'd be careful not to make the colors weird. Does that make sense? You know, make the color too close to the line art because otherwise then it looks weird and I don't like it. I don't care if you can't see it later. I still don't like it because I know it's there. You can see I did some cool patterns on the wings. I think that's supposed to be like, you know those hawks? I think they're hawks with the lines on their wings. It might be something else. I'm not a bird expert. But yeah. But then the body is kind of like a lot of the same color. So I came in with some lighter colors to give the back a lighter tone. Even though that doesn't make sense scientifically or however you're speaking. And I also made the legs lighter. So maybe these fly upside down or something. You can see I'm making a variant with the regularish eyes. I hope you find this creepy, because it's supposed to be. Slightly crazed vacant stare. You can see I'm going in with a blue brush to shade this. And then I accidentally went and highlighted instead of shading with the blue and then had to fix it. And then you can't tell, but I changed the color a bit. I think. Probably changed. And then I'm going in with highlights and everything. Highlights are your friend and add texture. You can see it's a mess. And I had a duplicate of it, and I went in with even more shading, or well, I went in with different shading because I decided that this is gonna be the perspective of like you're shining the flashlight on this thing. It's in the night, and you've run into this, and basically just you're fucked. Because you ran into this bird person that's gonna eat you. And you can see, like, it's very much coming from behind the light. Like, that is a flashlight being shone. And I went in with some more big splotchy light. And it's just on top of everything. And I went and deleted the eyes from everything, so it looks more glowy that way. Huh. That's a neat fact. You can see there's sketches and stuff again. And here's the harpy. Enjoy! I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day.